Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Neff. Neff has redeemed stretch and posture check first thing in the morning. I'm gonna have to put those ones on a rain check for just a few minutes while I wake up. Good morning, Fantasy and Serafina. I hope everybody's well today. Did you all have a good weekend? Since there's 6 people here, so there are secret viewers waiting in the wings. I hope you're also having a good day. I just have to refill my maraca box for the week, so we're gonna do that before we really get into anything. Plus, I'm just too tired. There's already a boop war happening. I'm very well, thank you, Fantasy. Just little bouts of insomnia. They happen. So I have a cafe mocha as my liquid sustenance today. I tried to tire myself out last night by watching a movie and just walking the entire movie. It didn't work. I still wasn't tired. Almost got the second batch of maracas out. Okay. That is the sound of my beautiful maraca box full. Yep. Let's see. And it says, yeah, because if you're tired and feeling rough as I am, for your own reasons, you need a posture check and a stretch. I feel like the Snoop Poop is going to go in typical greeting of my people. For sake of community, because of... Yeah, no, that's already my meme, is the boop snoot. Like the droop snoot. Those redeems will happen one day, I promise, Fantasy. You could probably use a couple of them here and there, it's fine. I stream frequently enough that you're not going to really have a shortage of points, especially if you're subscribed for the time being. Subscribe badges are also coming. I think they're probably going to be a various form of hibiscus. My snoot has been booped by Fantasy. It's the boop snoot, like the droop snoot. It's the snoot gets booped. The boop snoot, like the droop snoot. It's a little bit different every time. You'd be surprised. I had 300k points for one channel, and I'm going down to 40 from all the redeems. Oh no, not 40k. I'll have to save out just to be a silly Billy. There will be timers on some of the redeems. But maybe for the first day, I will have like the throw redeems have short cooldown. Just for funsies. Yes, some of the like throwable redeems, you want them to be relatively high because you don't want people to spam them. Like Arcane's really, really big throw is like 5k. And her smaller throw is 2500. Hi, Nuggies! Tesla's in my room. He's eating breakfast. Sorry, I'm leaning out of range of my camera to pet the nugget. I honestly should have just named him Nugget and not Tesla. There's too many connotations with that name now. Poor Nikolai. Oh, more time. Hopefully my coffee's not too hot. Oh, hot bean water, so good. Yeah. It's one of those mornings. I tried to go to bed at 10, and then I tried to go to bed at midnight, and then I ended up going to bed at almost 5. So, needless to say, I am tired. Hot brown wake up potion, yep. This one has hot chocolate in it though. It's cafe mocha. It's the last of my French vanilla coffee. I usually have like the Nescafe stuff in the jar, but I don't want to support Nestle anymore. And I have a hand coffee grinder now from my adventures in thrifting on Friday. Adventures in thrifting have brought me many a things, and also the one thrift store in the south end of my city that I had never been to, that's right next to the Costco, that I can't get to easily. That was like, there must have been a family that was identical to mine, and they just ended up donating everything. Because the bottle I brought back from Germany, from Conquest, that somebody gave me, I found at that thrift store. I have a Japanese tea set that has 2 plates, like two saucers. They're square. They're sort of a really dark gray ceramic with like the underside is a matte black, and the insides are like a really dark stoneware kind of gray. I found that whole tea set at that thrift store. I have these winter glasses, like mugs. They're clear glass, and they've got like these frosted pine trees scenery painted on them, or stamped onto them or something. Those were at that thrift store. And my family uses this basket whenever they have the rare bread in the house. So my dad will make a big batch of toast for the whole family, and he puts a tea towel in his basket, and he folds the toast up in that to keep it slightly warm, and the basket gets passed around the table, so we call it the bread barge. They had that basket there too. And when I was really young, I used to have like this woven basket thingy that looked like a clamshell. I kind of wish I still had it for Nameless, and I wish I had picked that one up, but my hands were already full, and my rule is if my hands are full, I'm not buying anymore. So I left that one behind. But they had that there too. And it's just like, what, huh? Why did my entire family just like donate everything? It's like a clone family. Donated everything to this one thrift store. I mean, they probably came from a multitude of different people, but like, I like to imagine that there's like a variation of my family out there somewhere. And they decided to move or something because of all the threats to Canada, so that, like, they probably came from Europe. So they have a lot of very similar views and values to us, and they just like got rid of a whole bunch of their shit. Because that's what that stuff is, really. And then they just left. Yeah. It was, it was pretty wild. Oh, man. Uh, but I got a bunch of cool stuff. Uh, Most of it for Nameless. I picked up a silver handheld vintage mirror, and I'm pretty sure it's actually a silver mirror, just by the sheer weight and the thickness and luster of the glass. It's got some scratches on it, but God, I could bludgeon someone to death with this thing. It's so heavy. I got a little alcohol bottle. It's got some sort of Chinese character on it. I can't read Chinese. But it looks cool, and it's this, like, brown ceramic, and it's got this handle on it, like this, I thought it was twine at first, but I think it's actual horsehair. Because it doesn't have the properties of twine. It looked like it at first, and I was like, oh, that's a really, like, fine vegetation twine that they made there. But no, I think it's actual horsehair. Kind of weird. I picked up some wall sconces for behind me, on my wall. They're very Asian themed too. So next time there's a chat in Skilltree or Dendronia and I have my camera on, people will see that. There's a little bit of secrets for the people who come from outside, maybe. If you're not part of Skilltree, you don't get to see my real face. Not that that's any better than this. This is a lot better, let's be honest. Most of the time I look like the living dead and a bog witch. That was, like, my original theme that I was thinking of going for, was kind of a female lagoon version of myself. And it would have been very, very scraggly bog witch. Found some cool stuff with Thrifting for Max, trying to find things that make sense for a roguish bard. Ooh. If you go to Miss Twisted's channel, she put out a video yesterday. Let me go find it. I think I sent it to Neff, yeah. Miss Twisted had a cool video about, like, making horns and stuff, but, like, at the end of stream, like, the vibe that she put together for this character out of just stuff and scraps was just so awesome. So that should be it. Definitely a vibe check at the end, like, hell yeah. Oh, thank you. I have a bad habit of putting myself down. I don't like the way I look because I'm really fat, and I hate that. I'm not me. I'm trapped in this body that's not me. I understand dysphoria because it's, like, I experience it every day, both with my physical sex and my, well, just the general physicality of my body. You know, my body doesn't do what I want it to do, and it suffers a bit. A lot of pain. I was in a lot of pain on Saturday morning. Oh my god, I just didn't want to move. Aw. Yeah. I like hugs. I used to not like hugs. I used to be a cactus. All prickly on the outside and soft and vulnerable on the inside. I always kept it in. I'm a little bit less of a cactus now. I'm more like one of those fuzzy grandfather cacti. I am deceptively soft, but still I've got that layer where I keep people at bay a little bit. There's gonna be a lot of chatting today because I'm really tired and my hands are surprisingly sore. I was not anticipating this, but like my the arthritis in my hands is really bad today. So I have them wrapped around my mug and I'm just chatting. But I like hanging out with you guys. That's why I do this, is because you're here and you always show up. And I really appreciate that. I have to go let Mathis out of his carrier though, and allow Tesla an exit so he can have some water to drink. I have that type of cactus, and now little cutie has a new name, Grandpa. Yeah. Oh, what is my avatar doing? Yeah. Yeah, they're called grandfather cacti. 'Cause they have, like, old man beards. I had one for, like, 2 decades, and we didn't realize it had died. So we don't know when it died, but one day it just sort of, like, the base turned to liquid, and it just sort of went bleh. And just sort of deflated sideways, and we found it one morning, just a sad, limp sea cucumber. And I was like, no! Because I'd had it since childhood. What is a Tesla? Okay, he really wants out, so I'll go let him out. I'll be right back. Like, I'm not leaving him looking like that, though. Yeah. Can't stop him. Neighbor does what he wants. He's just pouting. Like, nah. What kittens? So it took a little longer than expected because the cats wanted to do their, like, little run thing. Where, like, because Tesla doesn't eat all of his food because he's, like, a half-sized cat, but he gets, like, most of a full-size feed. And, so he doesn't always eat all of his food, but when I let the cats out, they're bigger than average cats, but they still get the regular size scoop. And my avatar looks like he's very upset. There we go. So whenever Tesla's done, I take one kibble each, so three kibbles total. My camera is really weird today. There we go. Making adjustments. I take 3 kibbles out of Tesla's bowl and I throw one at a time, with enough time for the other cats to catch up, or like go and have it. Wow, my camera's struggling today. So I'll throw the cable and make them run across the apartment for it, and it gives them a little bit of exercise and a little bit of engagement. And Mathis is fat, so he needs to run at least a little bit. Because he's a very chill kind of cat. He's not, like, super playful. So he ends up sleeping all the time and just hanging out most of the day. gonna lean back in my chair a bit and almost spill my coffee. Ah. So you're going thrift shopping tomorrow, Fantasy? Oh, I have 2 stretches to do now. Let's do those now that I'm waking up. Extra long stretch. Oh, that wakes you up. Oh. Okay, that was a double stretch. It was really big, except for my right arm. Necromancer was really awesome and gave me some money over the weekend to get a physio appointment. So I have to make that appointment today after stream. And hopefully I will be able to go to the same place my roommate did, because it's like $2 away. And at least have a consultation and get them to tell me what's wrong. Oh my goodness, my avatar is really struggling today. What is going on? Maybe there's some problems with the internet this morning and the Wi-Fi. Because the iPhone connects to this whole system through Wi-Fi, actually. So if something is interfering with the Wi-Fi, the connection isn't going to be great. 2 different stores, I guess. I'm excited. I'll try to contain my book buying tendency. Yeah. I never look at the books because, like, I'm really allergic to mold. So anything that might be from a place that's moldy, I have to avoid things that collect mold, like specifically paper. I have a lot of difficulty in libraries, which is frustrating because I like reading. So my life has just been like no libraries. Ugh. I don't think there's gonna be much painting happening today, guys, because I'm so tired. But I want to hang out with you. And also, no matter how much I drink, I feel like I'm dehydrated. I think I just need to actually do a fast. I was planning on fasting like last week, and I haven't. And now I've got 4.6 kilograms of ground beef I have to process after stream. I bought a giant tube of beef at Costco when Rumi's parents took us there over on Friday. It was pretty great. I owe them $300 for all the groceries. I have to do some math to figure out how much is mine and how much is like household half stuff that gets shared between the 2 of us, and then that'll tell me how much less I owe them, because the other half is Rumi's. The other half of that extra stuff is Rumi's. That's a lot of taco meat. I do eat a lot of tacos. I have to go to the dollar store and pick up some more taco wraps because that's the cheapest place for me to get them right now. But luckily that's also only 2 blocks away, and I still have to go there and check the springiness of their bamboo garden canes, and like the thickest ones they've got, so that I can make tent poles for Conquest. Hopefully they'll be thick enough and strong enough to hold that weight of the fabric. But if I can bend them and still kind of struggle-ish, I should be able to make something out of that. I'll also like compare with the hardware store, but it's possible that I would have to order some online. But still figuring that out. But yeah, it's a lot of meat, and I have to. I have to break it down. I much prefer wheat tacos. I think I have an intolerance to corn. Whenever I eat corn, whether it's popcorn, cornbread, or like most things with corn in it, I end up with a pretty bad headache. Popcorn especially. I end up with a terrible, terrible headache, and then a very minor stomachache afterwards, like hours later. So I think I might actually be allergic to corn. Like a minor intolerance. But yeah, I love popcorn. Which is infuriating. Yeah, we grow too much corn. We grow too much corn in this world. Too much corn. Turn down the music just a tad because I know this song is really loud. All my other songs are kind of quiet. Still haven't found any good music to add. It's very difficult. Maybe I'll look up like the WoW Pandaria soundtrack and see if I can find some bits in there that would fit stream. I had a moment of weakness where I'm like, I could use AI to generate some music and then bring it into a mixing program and make my own. But I'm like, nope, not gonna use it. I refuse. Even if it's easy, I won't. If it exists already, I'll sort of use what's there. Kind of like my background was once an AI picture and I repainted it to A, make more sense, and B, because I really liked the composition and the colors, so I used it as a study. But I had to make it make sense for reality. Do not succumb to the evils. Yeah, they make it so easy. Like, it's not going anywhere. Also, hi, Neff. I think I've been talking to you this whole time without actually saying hi. No, I think I said hi. I'm so tired. I think it's Necromancer that I'm thinking of. I know he said he would be here, but he's gonna be in and out of meetings all morning. Yeah, I think that's it. That's where my brain was going. You can tell I'm, like, struggling. Yeah, it's one of those mornings. I can't even keep a single train of thought. Ah! Piss off, those stupid bots. I'm never gonna buy your thing. Just give up. Bang. Ugh. Smash the bot, crunch, band hammer, meowder. I wish I could turn all of my emotes to tier 1, because there's honestly no point in tiered subs. I don't like to gatekeep my emotes to higher tiers, but I was required to do so. But just know, if Twitch gave me the option to have all of my emotes tier 1, I would. I would never use the tiered subsystem. I've seen very, very, very few people with tier 2 and even less with tier 3 subs in most channels, even the big ones. And I hate that. I hate that that's a thing. The cats really like those silver vine sticks we got for them. We're gonna have to get more and get rid of some of the old mankier cat toys. I'm just listening to the cats play with one in the hallway. You get that bot with your pirate cannon. I'm gonna have to figure out a new moderator, because Sai is my only mod, and she does not wake up until like noon. She's on medical leave, so when she does go back to work, if she does go back to work, we're gonna have to no, she won't be able to watch the streams while at work either. I mean, she probably can, but because her job is that kind of job. It was pretty chill. The company she works for is pretty great. I've recommended it to Necromancer too, because his job has him working on like the weekends and stuff, and I'm just like, ugh, man. Like, you may be earning a lot of money, but bro, just chill. So I want him to work for a better company, so I suggested it to him, since he's the software engineer. He's a smart man. With a really big heart. And I like having him here. I hope he comes by too. Hydrate! You know, I've been holding on to this bottle that I started last night for my walk. And I've been thinking about drinking. I'm so tired. I'm almost too tired to drink, but I will finish off this blue Gatorade Zero. And that way I get the bottle off my desk. Oh god. Just disappearing into the universe there. Thanks for that. Yeah, it does. My roomie had one of those like drink stick things, and I was going to walk an entire movie, so I ended up making one of those. It's a good thing I did too, because about halfway through the movie I started to feel dizzy. Probably a little bit too much at once, but it was good. I didn't make the whole film, but a good portion of it. I'm sorry I'm not doing any art today. I'm just that tired. We get to look at this beautiful picture instead and contemplate what the clouds are gonna do, because I'm still trying to figure that out. I need to go look at some references. I have an image in my head and I'm struggling to get it out. Gatorade Zero tastes weird, and they also, the blue flavor is like Glacier Cool or something, or like that. And my favorite Gatorade is just blue. That's the best one, is the mana potion. And they don't have a zero version of that. They also don't have it in like the sticks. So it's my avatar's doing a weird lean because I'm like hunched over on my desk. I am just I need to figure out why like my avatar's tongue has this weird artifacting on it. Maybe I'll pull it up into a VRoid later and take a look at it. I've got the VRoid file somewhere. But it's like there's parts of another model in the tongue. And I don't know if that's just like the lip or but you see it, right? Yeah, it's not quite the lip. There's something else there. Something wrong with the model. But hey, at least I can stick out my tongue. Just chilling with a cup of coffee sometimes is really good. Maybe I should have like a little cafe scene for us or something. For just chatting. What do you guys think? Maybe I should work on that. It'll probably be months in the making because I'm always so busy after stream too. One of the things we found about Gatorade Zero is it actually needs more citric acid. We started adding a little bit of citric acid to Gatorade Zero, and it dramatically improved the taste. So I guess they just didn't have enough. Take a sip of coffee here. Yeah, Rumi likes Blue Powerade. She says it's a childhood thing for her. I feel like I should add cinnamon to my hot chocolate. If you've never added cinnamon to your hot chocolate, 100% do it. It's so good. But I also have coffee in here. But cinnamon in your coffee also tastes really good too. Like if you do a drip coffee, just throw a little bit of cinnamon into your coffee grounds while you're pouring it, and it changes the flavor profile quite a bit. A pinch of salt too will help offset the bitterness. And I mean a pinch. Put any more than that in, you'll have salty coffee, and then it's just kind of like, ooh. I feel really bad that there's no art happening. I'm so... a person who's afraid of salt pinch. How about that? You want at least 5 grains of salt, but probably no more than 30 grains of salt. And we're not talking like rock salt or road salt. Maybe kosher you'll want 10 grains. Or like 5 or 6 flakes of like flaky sea salt. If you're bougie. But I would say like regular table salt, no more than 25 or 30 grains. So 1 dash, my particular salt shaker. Yeah, probably. Also, I don't drink coffee, so Yeah, one of the other things I got over the weekend was like a hand grinder. It's something that I've always wanted. Until now, I have been crushing my beans in a mortar and pestle. And while I do have a bullet and even like a little micro food processor, I don't like the high-pitched mechanical whirring. Just like I hate vacuums, I would prefer to use a broom to a vacuum. Vacuums just have their place, but I hate those noises because the world's noisy enough as it is, so... yeah, don't eat road salt. It's not for consumption. That is not the kind of salt you can eat. Though theoretically, those like Himalayan salt lamps, you can just grind those up and use those. So if you ever need salt in a pinch, it's like the apocalypse, you can't get salt anywhere, but you find one of those shops that sells nothing but those Himalayan salt lamps. That they're like, oh, they produce like whatever bullshit ionized particles from the salt heating up anti-scientific bullshit. Yeah, you can use those. Watched a guy from California lick a chunk of road salt. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, if you're not from here, I can understand, like, you might think it's safe, but it's really not. Natural selection right there, yeah. So I had to, like, take a moment to understand. I thought you were trying to say skeleton, and I'm like, what? We use a C in the place of that K in English, just so you know. It's kind of dumb, really. The K makes more sense. But half of English doesn't really make that much sense. Like, we have this rule, I before E except after C, and then, like, 50 other exceptions to that one, too. So I'm like, you just have to know. I'm tired, okay? Says with a laugh. Or says with a laugh. It's okay, I know you're tired. I also know that English is not your first language, and that English is one of the most difficult languages on the planet to learn. So if your spelling is off, that's fine. I'm just really tired, so like... a weird spelling is a bit difficult for me at the moment. That's why I said sass instead of says. Even though it said road salt on the bag, he thought it was just salt, so he licked it. It's not just sodium chloride. There's often calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, and other anti-clumping agents mixed in, not fit for human consumption. Yes. Yeah, magnesium you don't... Yeah, magnesium is one of those ones that you definitely need. It's the calcium chloride, I think you can't eat. Yeah, I have a little minor dyslexia too. So does my dad. I get it. But yeah, magnesium chloride, you still need. I have a magnesium drink mix that I'll occasionally have when I'm finding myself, like, getting muscle cramps. It usually means that I need some magnesium. Potassium chloride is the other one you want. It's usually labeled as no salt in the grocery stores. But you have to have that one with other things because it will erode your stomach lining if you just have it, like, straight in water. the things I know from fasting. I have a way to get all 3 of my salts that are required for human functioning. Yeah, dyslexia combined with like second, possibly even third language for Europeans who usually speak at least 2, if not between 3 and 5 languages, which is kind of wild. German was my first language, and then I forgot it. And then, much later in life, I discovered I had a language learning disability. So it makes picking up languages surprisingly difficult. I have difficulty hearing certain sounds too, so T's and D's and B's and V's often sound the same to me, so usually I have to have some clarification. I didn't speak English till I was about 4 or 5. Well, most people are like that. Hello, good morning. It's tacos, right? It's been a whole weekend, so I have to make sure. And I'm also very tired. If you haven't noted the energy level so far, but how are you? How was your weekend? So my dad would just look at me blankly, and when I'd run up to him, then ask my mom what I said. So you were a little bit nonverbal as in early childhood, I'm guessing. My parents don't know what my first word was. I've asked them before, but they don't know. Most people are like, I remember, my parents remember what my first word was, and I'm like, I asked my parents, they have no idea. Nachos. Yes. What did I say? Tacos? Ah, yeah. I did say tacos, didn't I? It was nachos. That was close. Really good, thank you. I've been tired. There were thrifting adventures on Friday, plus like a huge grocery trip to Costco with my roommate's parents, who come down from the far north once every few years, and they bring their vehicles, so we had the opportunity to drive around all the stores. And I am very tired from that still, and I had insomnia over the weekend, so I'm just like, And then I have to process 4 kilograms of beef after stream. 4.6. But it only cost me $60 for that much beef, because it was in a giant tube, and it was on sale. And there were only 2 tubes left, and me and some other guy were like humming and hawing over these tubes of beef. And then he's like, I can always break it down into smaller things. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do too. So we bought the last 2 tubes of beef. Because I've been eating pork for months and I'm a little bit tired of it. And the only reason I haven't bought beef is because it's so fucking expensive right now. So I got the opportunity to get really cheap beef. I should have picked up some chicken, but I already had too much. A big plate loaded with nachos is never a bad thing either. Oh, yes. Oh god, I could go for some nether nachos right now. Phone? Yes. What do you want? Oh, Mystic doesn't have a Twitch account. But she's watching. Hi, Mystic! You should sign up for Twitch. Join us. Chat. It also helps my statistics too, if you chat. But thank you for watching too. And thank you for the lurk nachos.
There isn't much art happening today, so you're not really missing much. I'm just chatting. I'm way too tired to brain artwork. One of these days, I need to take some weed before stream and just zone into the art. Just see what I can hear there. Yeah. Well, good luck with cleaning your room. Having a clean room is really nice. I cleaned my desk last week, and I lost my cable for my Bluetooth speaker. And so I found one that fits in the slot, and it says that it's charging, but it was plugged in all day yesterday and didn't charge. And I have no idea where my cable went, and it is the most frustrating thing because it's my sound machine when I sleep. So if you see me playing the Spirit City Lo-Fi sessions all night long, that's because that's my sound machine. Because it has a few audio things going on in the background. You could set like ambient sounds and lo-fi tunes, but I just turn the lo-fi off. I only ever listen to the like rain, thunderstorms stuff. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not the type of person who sees it bad and forgets about it, then depression just hits me in the back of the head. So I can get on top of it so I can feel somewhat better about myself. Hey, that's great, man. Power to you. If you know your beast, you can fight your beast. And sometimes it's like policing in Canada. We practice preventative policing, where we just show up in the community and we encourage people to not have stuff out that's easy to steal, because 90% of crimes are crimes of opportunity. So if there's no opportunity, there's no crime. Just like if there's no opportunity for that monster to come up and bite you in the ass, then it won't. It might still try, but it'll have a much more difficult time. My roommate tends to freak out if the apartment's in disarray, so I try really hard to keep things relatively organized. Sometimes he gets out of hand, but I do my best. I don't know what she would do without me sometimes. There'd be less stuff in the apartment. She would probably just own nothing. A hydrate and posture check and a streach. Oh my god. Those don't show up in the chat above my head. I wonder if I can figure out how to add those in there so that there's a record of them. That's I think part of the reason why I called them out, but also to announce that I am doing the thing, the hydrate. With cafe mocha, because that is the kind of morning that we're having. Last week, the French vanilla coffee tasted bad. This week it tastes good, and I suspect that when I'm really, really feeling kind of under the weather, the French vanilla flavored coffee tastes good, because it means that I'm really tired and need that coffee. But when I don't need the coffee, it doesn't taste good. I normally have the hazelnut one, but the French vanilla one was on sale one time, so that's what I bought. And there's a poop war happening. Same. Then it gets so bad it's even more discouraging because it just adds up. This is a fucking mood. Yep. You have to know your monster to be able to fight it. sometimes it's difficult to face that, but you know what? If it's not difficult, it's not worth it, right? So we are going to do our stretch. There's a lot of yawning happening in these stretches. Oh, you guys are waking me up nicely. Oh, we wake each other up. Oh, I just pulled my back. Oh, too much of a stretch. Oh, God, I wish I had the flexibility of my cats. I used to be really flexible, but that was back when I was doing Kung Fu, so maybe I should just take that up as a routine. Well, I have to mute my mic. Sorry, had to blow my nose. The coffee has made my nose run. It always does that. But yeah, I have a hand grinder for my coffee now. I had to fix it because the previous owner, they probably tried to clean it and they cleaned it with water. And they didn't take it apart when they did that, so parts rusted together. Because they're not stainless steel. My snoot's been booped by Fantasy. It's the boop snoot. That's the snoot. It gets booped like the droop snoot. The boop snoot. Get meat instead. Eat that. Depending on the salad, it can contain like seed oils and stuff, and again, depending on the vegetables, it can cause inflammation in the joints. They have oxalates in them. Good morning, Aline, or good afternoon. Good time zone. We're not doing a lot of art this morning because the arthritis in my hands is really bad and they kind of hurt. My coffee has gone cold though, so my mug is no longer warm. Grab a B-Day card for my dad. Make a B-Day card. And if you can't draw, or if you have a printer or something, like, find a bunch of letters and cut them out and make like one of those like ransom murder note B-Day cards. Signing the card is unintimidating on even bothering, not the card part. Well, I think he would probably appreciate it. I think he would appreciate getting a card. I know a lot of people are like, oh, cards are so... like a waste of money. Or like, oh god, it's just another piece of junk that I have. But like, there's some things, especially like from your kid, you generally appreciate. I appreciate everything my parents send me. My mom used to send me packages and she would just write like a little note on a napkin. And I keep those napkins. Because I'm that kind of sentimental. Just a little tug at your heartstrings. She'll like just write this innocuous note. Be like, oh yeah, I thought you needed this. And then a little heart. And then mummy. And I keep those. Because I'm like, I don't know how many more of these I'm going to get in my life. And I haven't received one in a long time. Because she can't really write anymore. Her handwriting has suffered dramatically too after her stroke. Shogrim! Am I saying that right? Thanks for coming by. Everybody, this person streams. I haven't been to one of their streams yet, but I met them through Arcane Memory. Yeah, welcome. Greetings. Welcome to the island. Thank you for the follow the other day. So, thank you for visiting the island. We are, I'm very tired this morning, so my brain is not functioning. I am drinking hot bean water, or formerly hot bean water. Our whole theme here is sort of this tropical island chain nation. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for enjoying the painting I'm on stream. It's one of the viewers' commissions. It's Necromancer Dark's D&D type character. Yeah. The coffee gets cold after a while. I chat and then I forget to actually consume my coffee. We should send more letters in the mail. I miss getting letters. Letters are kind of cool, actually. And I like doing wax sealing, and I would like to write some conquest letters to other characters that I meet in the next year. I think that would be a lot of fun. But yes, thanks for coming by. Shiokrim also streams, and I think you're still going for Ophelia, right? If I recall. Question: is there snow on your tropical island? Yes, there's snow on the mountain peaks. So it's like imagine, if you will, a super volcano in the middle of the ocean with a bunch of island chains that make up the edges of a crater. And there's a lot of basalt. And it has sort of the peaks of Hawaii, the mountains of the Cascades, and the landscape colors and tones of Iceland. So all of the soil is really dark, almost black basalt-like. There are even some bits of blending at the beaches, but there's a lot of coral, so you end up with the white sand. What type of wax seals do I have? I have quite a few. Let me pull down my drawer and count. I don't have too many, but I have a few. About 23, maybe, plus or minus. What kind of content do you stream, Joe? Am I saying that right? Can I just call you Grim? Is it Gio? I've been reading a lot of Chinese danmei, so I'm getting a lot of pronunciation keys from China, so that might affect the way I say your name. I will live in the snow at the top of the mountain. A lot of active volcanoes. The whole thing is just active volcanoes. It's like the Ring of Fire. Very a la Grinch. I'm sure there's some safe peaks. Oh yeah. I have a wax seal that's just for Nameless. Zeogrim. It's preferred pronunciation. Look, I've got a weird name too. You say my name is Sayeka. So, I understand. People struggle with the vowels. But as long as I have the pronunciation key, if I got that right, Zeogrim, then yeah. I do art streams. Okay, art stream, another artist. I did follow you via tags to stream the other day, so thank you so much for dropping by. I went to stream some games too, but I always end up streaming art for like 7 hours. Wow. My streams average about 2. This has been a just chatting stream, but I don't have a just chatting setup, so I usually leave a piece of artwork up if I do end up working on stuff. I'm just working on the clouds in the background, and there will be a little bit of rendering on the jewelry and fixing up some of the hair and the lapels, of course. Haven't been touched at all. It's just an overlay of an idea of what I want to have happen there. So there's still quite a bit of work to do on this piece. Yeah, this is a commission piece for Necromancer Dark. Oh, the roomie is awake. Oh my god. Good morning, Romy. The cats are already attacking her feet. I'm actually struggling a lot with the clouds. I need to go do a study. It's been a while since I've painted clouds. I went through about a decade of depression, so I really didn't do a lot of, actually it was more like 15 years. So I didn't do a lot of art in the interim. And the last time I painted clouds had been a very, very, very long time ago. At least serious clouds. But it is one of my favorite things to paint. Also, like hair. I really like painting hair. Even when I did like an anime style, I really liked doing the hair. It was always my best rendering. But I'm doing more detailed anatomy studies, like ears, noses, you know, and I need to do some pieces with more dynamic poses, I think, just to increase my foundational skills. The other thing that we're doing for foundational skills is practice pieces like this. Let me zoom out just a little bit. Oh, maybe that's a little bit too far. I have to remember that you guys can see the sidebar here, so we'll just go back to this. Still life practice. Foundational skills are very, very important. You can't build a building without a foundation. Otherwise, your building is weak. So, things like drawing cubes and circles and spheres and like just basic skills, people tend to neglect because they feel like they don't matter, or they feel like the practice is too simple, so they neglect them, and then it really shows later on. And I was never classically trained as an artist. Everything I know is self-taught. So, I have no foundation. I just went straight into drawing people in anime. Years and years and years and years. Like back in the age of dinosaurs, before anime was popular. Yeah. So I have almost zero foundational skills, so I'm just going back and learning those and teaching them to myself so that my art is better. And this is one of those practices where you replicate the painting without selecting anything from the photo. So you have to only select from the color wheel when you want to paint, or when you want to add a new color to the canvas. Back in my day, we would record an anime on a VHS and pause the tape, practice drawing. Yup. You're in my age group. I've been at art for like 7 years because my job was sucking the life out of me. offered me to get restructured out a few months ago so I'm getting back in the saddle. Hell yeah. I never had a job. I tried so hard to find work. I was in school for so long, and then I got out of school and they're like, no, we don't need people with university degrees anymore. We need people with experience. Oh, you went to university instead of getting experience? Well, you're fucked. It was like that after I graduated high school. They're like, we want people with college. So I finally gave up and went to college, and by the time I got out of college, they're like, oh no, we want people with university degrees. So I went and got a university degree, and by the time I got out of university, they're like, no, we need people with experience. And I'm like, okay, well then hire me so I can have experience. And they're like, no, you're overqualified. I hate the world. So this is sort of my job now. Also, if you get an ad, please let me know, because then I'll pause what I'm saying. Because I want everybody to be able to experience stream relatively the same. I hate the world too. Let's burn it all. Yeah, to some degree. I watched Contagion last night while I was awake and playing Stardew. Sometimes I think that COVID didn't do enough. But also, like, I caught the first round of it before we knew what it was, and it nearly killed me with a fever. And my lungs have not been the same. My body won't heal. So, like, when I get, like, a cut, a scrape, or like, something else, my body just doesn't heal. Like, my one nostril on my left, not my left, my right, I keep getting nosebleeds, and it just won't stop. I didn't used to have this problem. But ever since I caught COVID the first time, it's been a problem. My body just won't heal properly. And that's why I'm thinking of doing a long fast, because I haven't really done one since I got sick. And, like, my weight's going up, no matter how much exercise I get or how little I eat. And, like, my nose won't heal, and my sense of taste got affected the last time I got COVID, which was the same one that my mom had caused her stroke. We almost lost her the day before Thanksgiving in Canada. You know, it's traumatic. Thanksgiving is traumatic for my dad now, because it's also like 2 days before his 70th birthday. So, yeah. He hates his birthday, and he hates Thanksgiving now. And I have to go back every year and experience his melancholy, and try to cheer my family up, because they're probably more depressed than I am. So I'm the cheerful one, and when did this happen? Packed and ready for D&D, aw yeah! We're also getting old, we don't heal so well anymore. Oh look, I know lots of people who are our age, and they heal just fine. Or we do what little bit we can to make the world a bit better for those around us in spite of all the terrible stuff. Yes. Zeogrim's absolutely on point there. Is my mom okay after the stroke? No, she lost a large portion of her language center, so talking to her is very difficult. And then they had her on a medication that was actually degenerating her brain. So, like, she had a great recovery in the early stages, and then this medication started blocking her neural paths. And then, like, she couldn't walk, she was struggling to speak, all sorts of things, and they finally got her off this med, and she's recovered quite a bit from that, but I don't think she'll ever be the same. And, like, her health isn't so great anymore. So I don't think I have too many years left with her. And that is the most terrifying thing for me, because she is everything in my life. So I try not to think about it. Yeah, you can hear the panic rise in my voice. That's what causes me to spiral. So I try not to think about it. I try not to talk about it. We'll just move on from that one. VHS. Old. We're old. I've used Betamax too. Do I play any games? I've been playing a lot of Stardew lately. I hadn't touched Stardew since it was relatively new, and I came back to it very recently. I married Shane. I think the dev did Shane a bit dirty, because like he was a depressed self delete contemplating alcoholic, and as he gets to know you, he recovers from that, and you help him breathe new energy into his life. Crow spying on you again. And one of the things is when you marry a character in Stardew, they get like an offshoot room in your house, but like Shane's room is still like it has like a filthy rug with like foot tracks in it and open pizza boxes and alcohol cans everywhere, like beer cans just laying all over the floor, and it's just filthy. And you can't change anything in that room, and it's like, well, this guy's supposed to be recovered. Like he's supposed to have like new life and new energy and a new appreciation for the world, and the dev just left his room and didn't change anything about him. Like they didn't have him grow as a character visually, which I think is a huge missed opportunity. Apparently Shane is like the one people go for the least because he's so depressed and just sad and dirty. And it's like people who recover usually show like a level of thriving that they didn't have before. Yeah, I know. I like to play games without mods for a while before I really get into it, but I think the dev didn't really do Shane justice. And when you look at it, like all of the other characters don't really want to be on a farm. All of the other marryable characters don't want to be on a farm, and like they have aspirations of going out and doing other things in the world, and Shane is the only one who actually wants to be a farmer. Like the man just loves chickens, and he has like this pet chicken called Charlie that he hangs out with sometimes at the little like married persons section at the farm where they have like their own little workshop or something. And like that is the cutest goddamn thing in the world. I'm like, you did that for Shane, but you didn't throw him the rest of the way. And like I feel like he just got left out. My wife had spreadsheets upon spreadsheets keeping track of all the crops, when to grow them, when to sell them. It was nuts. Yeah, some people are really into Stardew. I love the concept of it, but knowing there's an underlying profit meta messes with me. Yeah. Well, I do like the taking down Joja Mart part. I can't imagine what kind of person it takes to look at that little town and go, no, I'm going to support the corporate interest. I'll never figure that out. Like, I can understand, like, completionists doing it for the sake of, like, the achievement, but, like, I don't think I'd even want that achievement. like, like, for example, Sebastian, he wants to leave town, but if you marry him, he ends up, like, being stuck on your farm the rest of his life, and, like, that's the saddest thing. Oh, thank you for the link. I'll look into it maybe later for another game. I play Stardew to wind down, especially on the weekends. I don't stream on the weekends as a rule so that I don't burn myself out. But Shane is a lovable derp. He ends up being like the most adorable. Like, I remember many years ago, I was wooing Elliot. I hadn't married him, but I was definitely wooing him. Yeah, you should play Stardew again. Sometimes it's nice to pick up old games. I just think there was another hydrate. There was a lot more that the dev could have done to develop Shane, and probably a lot of the other characters in terms of growth after the fact. I mean, I'm only approaching the end of year 2, and I've already done most of the stuff that's able to be done in the game. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the other 8 years. I'm basically gonna start romancing Abigail when I was playing it. I mean, I like Abigail. She's edgy. She likes autumn things. I'm just not interested in girls, like, wholly not interested, so I'm just like, they're friends. Great. The room is done. Excellent. Woohoo! We'll give you party meows. Victory! Party meows. Narty time. You have defeated the monster for the day. Congratulations. Not gonna lie, I saw Abigail and immediately thought of Abby from The Last of Us 2. Fair enough. Speaking of zombies, my roommate is working on a Stardew-esque a zombie farming game, so it's like takes place in the apocalypse, and there are zombies involved and farming, so it's like Stardew meets Graveyard Keeper. Leather Plague Doctor Mask. Yeah, that sounds rad. I found out that the bag that I want to replicate using the leather that Wraither gave me, the bag that I want to make is literally starting to fall apart. I've been using it since 2008, so I think almost 20 years is a pretty good run for a bag that has been to Spain and back on a trip. So I need to find a leather punch, because I don't have one of those, and some thread. I'm not sure what kind of thread to use, so I'll have to do some research. Oh, Zio, most of the people here are from a Discord called Skilltree, from the Skilltree YouTube channel. I see how it is, advertisements, how dare. Just when I was saying something. Hope he lets me know when it's over. The ads don't tend to be too long. I think I have them set to like 1 minute 30 or something. Just when I was saying something directly to Zio. But I appreciate everybody who watches the ads or subscribes or whatever, because that is my only income other than commissions at the moment. When I get the confidence to actually set up my shop, hopefully more will be coming in, but I'm so uncertain, and yeah, I don't know why I'm afraid to set up my shop. Thank you for watching the advertisements. Welcome back. Thank you for letting me know when it was done. I appreciate that. The ads have great timing, just not saying something directly to you. Most of the people here are from the Skilltree Discord. That is part of the Skilltree YouTube channel's community. So most of the people who watch me are fellow skill monkeys. If you really like crafting and making things, I highly recommend not just the YouTube channel, but the Discord community too. Everybody there's absolutely freaking fantastic. Most of the people are just regular run-of-the-mill crafters and fans of the channel, but there are a few people who are really into LARP. The character I'm playing right now is my LARP character from the Conquest of Mythodia, the world's largest fantasy LARP in Brooklow, Germany. And a lot of the people here, like, fantasy is going next year, not this year. I went last year, and I'm saving up the money to go this year. So the ads support my trip to Germany. I'm very close to being able to afford my plane tickets. I was afraid of streaming my art, I think because art is such a personal thing for me, and it makes me super nervous to put it out there. We're our own worst critics. We are. It took me a while to really get back into it. I first started streaming 4 years ago, and then I took a break because the pandemic started. I had just moved. I didn't have a doctor, and so I couldn't get my prescription for my antidepressants renewed. And I couldn't get a doctor for a couple of years. So I ran on meds, and then I had to stop them cold turkey, which is dangerous. One thing I know about me is that when my antidepressants get to a low dosage, instead of suicidal, I become homicidal. Like, I literally become like one of those little angry dogs. And I am so easy to anger, which is very unusual for me. It's bizarre how sensitive brains are. So I took a 4-year break from streaming, and I only came back in December. And then it was only last month that I started trying to be semi-regular. Yeah, I get scary when my dosage gets low. That was Zoloft, though. I don't know about what I'm currently taking. I just know that what I'm currently taking, if I were to stop at cold turkey, I'd probably have a heart attack and die. Because Effexor does that. But otherwise, my magic maracas make me a happy bean. But, yeah, I've been taking those for about 2 years now. And I'm lucky that they haven't stopped working and that I haven't needed a higher dosage. But last year I was diagnosed with ADHD, and I started taking those as well. Started taking meds for that. And it's really helped me a lot to get to the point where I can focus and actually do this. So I went 38 years without being diagnosed with ADHD, and it turns out that I may have needed that my entire life. Yep, one day at a time. And as I tell everyone, don't hesitate to contact me if you need help fighting your boss monster. Everybody has their own struggles. I know a few people who watch me have a lot of very, very difficult struggles on their hands. And it's not a weakness to seek help. So I'm a huge advocate for mental health, work-life balance, and just loving yourself. I may make fun of myself sometimes, but it's usually in jest. I need help identifying my boss monster. Sometimes there's more than one. Sometimes you've got an army of darkness. And don't be afraid to call on a party to help you fight it. Frodo couldn't have made it to Mount Doom without his Samwise. And I'm here to be people's Samwise. It's a Karen of a monster, yeah. Self-deprecation can be a good counter. Sometimes I use it as a humor. So, like, sometimes I'll be like, I'm a motherfucking whale! Fight me, bitch! Or I'm like, oh, I'm such a dirty bog witch, and I'm gonna go have a shower, and then I'm like, now I'm a clean bog witch. You know, Nameless, this character is, you know, if I could be how I wanted to be and look how I wanted to look, it would probably be this character. Bog witches are cool AF, yeah. So, you know, I use it in a sense of like, oh, you know, I'm like fat and ugly, but, you know, I face the world anyways. And then people like Seraphina and Fantasy, who is Silver here. So when I say Fantasy, I'm referring to Silver. They're like, they turn around like, no, you're pretty. And I'm like, I know I can be. It's just most of the time I don't feel like it. And then I laugh about it, and it makes me feel better. But there are ways to fight it. Like last night, I walked for most of the movie Dante's Peak on a walking pad that chat actually funded through Throne, like the thing below me here. So it was mostly Necromancer Dark who bought it for me, but Neficus also donated towards it, and there was like a special walking pad reward that you could get for that campaign because it was really important, because I was having lots of swelling in my right leg, and the doctor was afraid I had a deep vein blood clot. Luckily, I am free of blood clots currently, but the women in my family are susceptible to it on both sides. So I got a double whammy of fuck you in my genetics. And I just have to deal with it. My PG tuber is a reflection of how I feel sometimes, just a tired, pug-looking, hairy ogre. But we all have our moments. I self-identify as a potato. So, most of the time people are like, oh, are you a guy or a girl? And I'm like, I'm a potato. And I just think it's the funniest thing ever. Like, it's self-deprecating, but at the same time it's humor, and that's just my brand of humor. I got used to bullying myself for so long that it just became funny, because it's like, why the fuck am I doing this? This is hilarious. In a sad sort of way, but also, like, it became my coping mechanism, I guess. To express my disdain for myself, but also, like, bully that part of myself that feels that disdain, to shove it back down into the depths of my soul until it's just smashed out of existence. If that makes any sense at all. I don't know if it does or not. What do you think I say? I look like an ugly potato. I'm small around and not good looking. You're fine, Fantasy. I've seen you once, and you're fine. You're absolutely fine. Not every human being is going to be a supermodel. Look at the variation of people we have on this planet. It's just what the media decides to push to us. It becomes so toxic because we hate the way we are because we're not like what is perceived as beautiful. And I this is why I don't follow celebrity culture or fashion culture or anything like that, because it's just it's miserable. Did Streamlabs get an update? I just use basic OBS because I had to log back in. I've got to set stuff back up for my stream. But oof. And then we are both potatoes. Potatoes are pretty great. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Yes, absolutely. Exactly. Potatoes are versatile and they're hearty. They will grow just about fucking anywhere. And there's so many varieties of them. And they're all delicious. So guess what? We're all potatoes. Because we are all round, lumpy, strange tubers that live in the dirt. And we're all delicious. And if we get too much sunlight, we become toxic. There's a clip for y'all. So it'd be like the Stardew Luau pot where you just put everything from the village in. It must be a horrific soup. I have potatoes in my small backyard. I wish I had a backyard. I live on the 14th floor. If I had any form of garden space, I would probably be growing potatoes because they are the easiest thing to care for. My energy is slowly building back up. You guys give me energy. I appreciate that. Thank you all for coming by, as usual, always. Finally waking up. It only took me 2 hours. My hands are still hurting a little bit too much to really do anything. But this is a great coffee time. Speaking of coffee. Bean water. I've been booped. But it's not the boop snoot. But I have been booped. I return the boop. We are all potatoes. Oh my god, a clip, yeah! I'll have to watch this later, but thank you for clipping. Clips are fantastic, and they're very welcomed, especially when I'm being a weird gremlin. People used to make fun of me because I was strange, and now I embrace it. You must embrace the cringe! It's pretty great. It is a great quote. We are all potatoes. This is why I identify as a potato. Oh, I should have a potato redeem. Being normal is boring. Be weird. Is this your friend Neff? Sean the weirdo. Yeah, be weird, man. One of the people who's watching without a Twitch account, Mystic, she really embodies the chaos gremlin. And I met her at Conquest, and she really taught me to be a weird bean and just embrace the gremlining. It's because of her that I take commissions now, because she insisted on commissioning me for her boyfriend's costume, and then her costume, which I can bring up and show you, for Conquest. And because of that, necromancer commissioned me, and he's planning on commissioning me again. Let's see, I think it's this folder. And because of these commissions that I have to do, I started streaming because it helps me focus. So this is Mystic's costume. I do believe she is nearly done making hers, and she did her boyfriend's costume too. I'm working on 2 more commissions for 2 other clients for their costumes for just cosplay of their original characters. Are you okay, Nachos? You alright? Are you sore now? So these are the commissions that I do for costume design. Specifically for LARP costumes, I try to design something that's going to actually be wearable by a person, so not like, you know, you get some really, really beautiful anime and Chinese, Donghua designs, and stuff like Genshin Impact. Those are absolutely gorgeous, but they are not practical or wearable, especially in, like, a fantasy LARP where there's a war going on. Reset up Streamlabs. Oh, yeah, no, good luck with that, man. Also Guardian streams too, so go follow them. I call them Nachos, but they're Guardian. So they stream as well. There's another streamer on Twitch whose whole theme is also nachos. I watch her on a very rare occasion, but like all of her emotes are some sort of like Dorito chip. They're pretty great. But yeah, specifically for the Conquest ones, I go through and I will like find fabric suggestions. In this case, these fabric suggestions were directly from a website and different weights of fabric. So in this case, like for the skirt and the bodice, I recommend a heavier fabric as opposed to a light one. But if you wanted something really lightweight, you could go with broadcloth. It's also a lot cheaper. And then different textures of fabric. So we have 2 twills and a linen, and then a chiffon, and they're very different textures of fabric. So you're gonna have not only lots of coloring layers and details for this embroidery that I designed for her. So this along the bottom is actually my own embroidery design based off of another one that I had found online. Sort of like a remix of it. And it was my first time doing that sort of thing. And I like to show all of the individual pieces on a separate layer, like the way I have them patterned out here, so you can get an idea of what pieces are separate. And for LARP, I generally only recommend natural fiber. So I'll go find suggestions, especially if like the person I'm designing the costume for isn't a sewist, so they don't know where to start. It can be very, very overwhelming. But for like the cosplayers, I'm just like, yeah, use pleather, use faux suede, polyester. It's fine, unless you're in like a really hot environment. So I asked these 2 new clients where they intended to wear these things and what they intended to use them for. So like when I do one of these commissions, it's like a really deep, in-depth like interview, and I take notes and everything so that I can give them the best design as possible. I also ask for like a relatively tightly clothed, like T-pose body shot so that I can get an idea of their body shape, and then I'll change my little art mannequin to match that as best as I can. So these are a lot of work, and I don't charge nearly enough for them because they take me months sometimes. Like, Dell's was really fast because I had like a good idea in my head of exactly what I needed to do for his. Bark bark outside. Yeah, Dell's was relatively fast, but like Mystics took me a long time, and I even had to start over because like what we were coming up with just wasn't suitable. And we've got a hydrate rename from Nachos. It is Nachos, right? God, my brain is like suffering. Insomnia is the worst. I used to work for a sewing and embroidery thread manufacturer and tried to convince them to sell and collab with cosplayers and LARPers. Made it a point to send as much free stuff to people I followed just to send them free thread. Damn. Damn. That's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, they should absolutely listen to you because, like, if they want people to buy their product, absolutely collab with creators. Particularly the cosplayers, the costumers, the LARPers. Because it really goes a long way. Like, I will sing the praises of Worbla for cosplayers, not for LARPers, but for cosplayers. Worbla can have its place for LARPers if you're making like a small accessory or jewelry, but not like weapons or armor. You need actual leather or metal for that, depending on the LARP. Usually the LARPs that I would attend are like the European style LARPs, where they're like really intensely into authenticity in their costumes. Like Conquest is a 4-day event, and it's a camping event, and everything has to be in character 24 hours a day generally, except for like at the bathrooms and stuff, because bathrooms are very modernized for sanitation reasons. Which is understandable. It's like the only out of character place other than like medical administration and the timeout room where you can go to decompress if you need to. They're very good about that kind of thing. Got to meet Yaya Han during a work trip once. Nice. I met Yaya at Anime North once, and I got a photo of her in one of her famous steampunk costumes. And that was before she was like really super famous. Like, she was on her way up, and I'd recognized her from the internet, from pictures that I found online, and I still didn't know who she was, but I have met Yaya Han. So, you would totally fit in on the Skill Monkeys server, so absolutely go to the Skill Tree YouTube channel. Oh, I'll get you a link even. If you like that kind of stuff, definitely join the Skill Tree Discord and become a Skill Monkey. And Kit and Maddie, who run the channel, are really super awesome, genuine people. Like, Kit's ADHD energy he shows in his videos is 100% him. He is just like that in person too. And Maddie does a lot of the work behind the scenes and the editing and the organization and stuff, and she's awesome. Pretty much everybody else here is a Skill Monkey as well. That's how I know them all. And they are really awesome people. Alright, see you later, Neff. Thank you for the lurk. I don't have alert command set up yet. I'm still learning bot stuff. The Discord community is almost done. I need to take a little bit of extra time to do that today too. But first I must process my beef. I have 4.6 kilograms of beef that I need to fix up and put into smaller packages and freeze. Kit is hilarious. He is absolutely hilarious. I didn't even get to play with Kit and Maddie at Conquest. I didn't even interact with them. I'm like, there are camp lords. And because my character was a former slave, he still had the polite, like, call Fox Master Fox and call Crow Mistress Crow. But he will have grown out of that by this year's event. He calls them Lord Fox and Lady Crow now. But he couldn't remember the word for dog. So he started calling dogs bark barks. But now he knows the word for dog, but he's just going to call them bark barks anyways, because he realized that everybody likes it when he does. You'll have rated by the time I get back, so thank you for your stream. Everyone enjoy the rest of your day / night cycles. Well, thank you, Neff, for coming by. I appreciate you coming as always. I hope you have a good day. My character has escaped from a prison ship due to a storm and still has a shackle on his hand. Yeah, Nameless was supposed to have that too, and I just didn't get to make one. Have you seen pictures of my collar, Fantasy? I could probably take one, upload it to my private Discord, and then share it. It's a little bit rough right now because it's it got worn out and needs like a new paint job. And it needs cleaning. But I used embroidery hoops. Okay, let me just get this uploaded. My phone's running out of battery too. Should probably plug that in. Give me a second. Logistics. New from clipboard. So, this is the color that I made for my character. I wasn't expecting it to come off so fast, but by Saturday, which was the last day, or maybe Friday, the collar was already removed magically by the Archmage. I made friends with the Archmage and the Master of Five Elements, who's like this supreme blacksmith dude. And they helped me get my collar off. I made that out of embroidery hoops and epoxy sculpt, and a metal gardening ribbon, and 1 gem. The hinges are made out of bamboo straws. The embroidery rings are made out of bamboo, and the pins for the hinges are also made out of bamboo chopsticks. The whole thing's just covered in epoxy sculpt. And the gem is being held in by sticky tack. It's not even glued in, it's held in by sticky tack. And it's spray painted. nah, but the collar looks sick as hell. Okay. Let's see, making a collar for Max due to him being half Fae in his own world. They put something on to stop his magic. I will pause until Zio comes back. Then I'll respond to that. In the meantime, I will drink my coffee because it's very cold now. You scratch my face because it's itchy. I can't get my lips to stop feeling like they're... How do I explain it? You get glue on your skin, like school glue or clear glue, and then it dries. And then, like, your skin feels kind of plasticky when you try to move it. That's what, like, the whole area around my mouth feels like. And it's just been like that for, like, a week. Oh, 2 hours now. I gotta go soon to my D&D game. Well, that's fine. I always appreciate you showing up, though. But yeah, I made that collar, and it's made out of mostly bamboo and epoxy sculpt. I want to remake it. I eventually want to make a proper metal one. So if you need suggestions or if you have any questions, you can just message me and ask, and I can show you more pictures. I don't have much of the process saved, but yes, it's bamboo embroidery hoops, bamboo straws for the hinges, and bamboo chopsticks for the hinge pins. Well, let me take a close-up photo of that, and I will quickly upload that. Let me grab that from my Discord. From the clipboard. Oop. Sorry, it's a little bit rough and a little bit out of focus, but you can see where I've made repairs up here at the top. This is still zoomed in a bit far here. And yeah, I just cut the I cut the straw into segments and glued it together. And then the hinge pin, the one in the back is glued into the top and bottom, and the center point rotates freely. And of course, the foremost part is just the pin pops in and holds. The overall design I have for it, where's my art folder? So this is the design. Ultimately, what I would like to make out of metal. I just have to figure out the logistics of that, but typically it would be some sort of like a brass or something. Brass tends to have the nicest, have the right color tone that I like to go for with my character. My roommate was going to model one and 3D print it for me, but she wasn't doing well last year, and she hasn't fixed her printer setup yet. So if I can figure out how to model one on my own, I will probably do that. I would like to get back into 3D modeling. I did it once, like back in 2001 at a summer camp, computer summer camp for nerds. So last time I did any sort of 3D modeling was like 3D Studio Max 2. And yeah, so ultimately, like, I would prefer to make it out of brass if I could, or the equivalent of like a stainless steel brassy gold color. I just don't know the logistics behind that, and I don't have the money to commission such an item. But I think my 1 day build with the bamboo embroidery hoops and epoxy sculpt worked out pretty well. I think I got more or less the look that I wanted. It's not exact, but it's still pretty good. A buddy of mine's uncle makes jewelry, so if you ever wanted to check out and see if it's something they could do, I'd be happy to give you their info. They're the sweetest folks ever. Yeah, maybe. This sounds interesting. I think Conquest has some jewelry making workshops and blacksmithing workshops that you can do as well. And they're just part of the game. So you go and you do them in character. I'd like to do the jewelry making one, but I'm also going to be running a tea shop this year. I've been making tea pets. Let's see if I can find that. So we're doing like a Chinese style tea shop. If Fantasy is still here, this is the wax seal that I have for Nameless. That just happened to be in the folder that I was looking in. So, what was I looking for again? Oh, the teapots, right. I think I'll find that in here, maybe? So, this is the tea pet that I made. It's just the prototype. The first time sculpting an animal in like 30 plus years. I made some plasticine cats when I was little. They look like lumpy turds. Actually, they do read as cats. I made them when I was like 5 or 6 or something. And my mom just kept them in a box. And I've done a couple of other like clay projects in high school, and I really enjoyed those, and they were mostly people that I sculpted, and they were terrible. The little blob cats that were basically like clay meatballs don't qualify as sculpting. I apologize for the fire truck that's going by. There's not much I can do about that. I live downtown. we get sirens. I had a lot of fun sculpting the fox. I am working on a crow because our camp leaders are fox and crow. So I'm hoping to get some brush on silicone and make a silicone mold of this so that I can liquefy some Sculpey somehow and just pour it into the mold and bake these and make them sort of en masse. Ew! Okay, bro, you are straight up getting a report. Not only are you getting banned, but you're also getting reported. That is disgusting. Ugh. And block. Not that it'll matter, because you'll be banned in like 40 seconds anyways. Ugh. Fucking bots, man. See you later, Fantasy, and hello, Necromancer. We're just introducing Zio Grim to the community and skill tree. They are also a streamer. They stream artwork, so if you like art, go follow them. They're still working on affiliate. And I was just introducing them to projects in the works, and Fantasy was asking me about like a shackle for the character, so we were looking at the collar that I made for Conquest. This is the backside of the fox. So I want to produce these T-Pets using a brush on silicone mold and liquid Sculpey. They don't sell liquid Sculpey in enough like large enough bottles. So I have to find a way to liquefy my own Sculpey to be able to pour it into a mold. Still working towards it. We'll stream in a couple of hours today after I get some breakfast. Well, maybe I'll be conscious for your stream. I will try to show up for that. I'll probably just like have the window open after I'm done streaming, because I do have to go process my meat before my roommate's food box comes in, so she has room to put her stuff in the fridge. The fuck is going on with Streamlabs? Make me log in each time I open it. Makes me redo my mic settings. You might just have to go back a version if you can. I don't use Streamlabs, I just use regular OBS. I boycotted Streamlabs because they were calling themselves Streamlabs OBS, and they weren't supposed to, because they were trying to ride off of the OBS name, even though they're using like the modified version of OBS, which is open source. So they were being kind of sus, so I won't use Streamlabs anymore. That's why I use Stream Elements for things, but Streamlabs is a no-no. So I will never use Streamlabs again. And maybe you shouldn't either. Maybe go back to the original OBS. I know Streamlabs is nice and pretty and a lot easier to use and has a much nicer interface, because interface designers tend to be very few and far between. If I knew how to contribute to OBS, I would contribute a user interface that would be absolutely stellar, because that is what I'm trained in, partially. Mostly English rhetoric and professional writing is my university degree, but I also have an interaction design post-diploma. I'd love to see you there, but no pressure. I'm just happy to be here. Look, I want to support other artists too. So, and you came here to support me. I would like to try and be there to support you. Just like I like to shout out my friends Sione and Puma Conrad and Arcane Memory. So, we have to support each other and share each other's streams as much as possible. I do have a recommended channels list on my Twitch. I believe that's a thing. One of the panels, not one of the panels, but like one of the tabs you can look at in the info page down below there. And yeah, so there's a bunch of people there that if you're an artist or you just like shenanigans, you absolutely should follow. Because they're all great people. So. Necromancer came by. Very briefly. Necromancer, I hope you're having a good day. We miss your face in chat. I know you're in meetings, so, but know that I am thinking of you. I'm here. Okay. Arcane's been so awesome to me, showing me the ropes of Twitch and stuff. Yeah, no, Tags is a wonderful human being. She's an absolutely precious gem of an individual, and like, people should give her absolutely all the love because she 100% deserves it. She's been through some things, as many of us have, but maybe more so than a lot of us. And she definitely deserves all of the love in the world. So many people I've been a fan of, and they're so nice. Like, what the fuck? It's overwhelming. It's strange, you know. Like, these people who seem really popular, like back in the day, and people our age were like, if you're popular, you're automatically probably a terrible human being. But it's like the opposite now. You know, there's these people who are really well known, and they're just genuinely good people. And like, Kit and Maddie are in that category. C-Not, who I usually raid into, absolutely 100% precious being, good dad, great sculptor. Let's see, Brush for Hire, he seems pretty cool. He's always been rather kind to me when I've gone into his stream. Moko Maid, they support lots of artists. They're doing their partner, not partner push, but like they've become partner, and they're having their partner party. That's the word, and they call it the PP party. and I raid them on Tuesdays as a rule, because they do Titty Tuesday, where the guy wears a nipple pasties on his shirt, and if you say Titty Tuesday, he like tries to spin his chest and make the little cherries on them spin. It's hilarious. And they came by my stream one morning when I was still doing like really, really early morning streams, like 6 or 7 a.m. And they came by. With the time change, I started streaming at 9 because we lost that hour. I was trying to aim for 8 a.m. But that was still a little bit too early, I guess. More hydrate. I think I'm... Oh, no, I still have some coffee left. Okay. This camera's so sensitive. It's down below me, so it gets blocked if I raise my hands too high. I need to find a better setup for this. But I work with what I've got. I'd like to build a shelf. Oh, posture check. Yeah. Do a quick little light stretch. Roll your shoulders. Yeah. But yeah, no, there's so many people on Twitch that are just absolutely genuine gems of human beings. Do you use a regular camera for your setup? The tracking is so nice. I am borrowing an old iPhone from my roommate, and it's her dad's old iPhone. So I think he upgraded, so she's using a different iPhone, and I'm using the one that she was using previously, I think. And my roommate is Sayoni, who I previously mentioned. She just went by in the hallway, actually. She's probably working on her game stuff today. Let's switch back to a piece of art instead of this grody color thing. We'll go back to Necromancer's beautiful piece. There's some cleavage there, so we'll get a nice thumbnail after a while. Maybe we'll get some thirst in here. This Incubus could use some of that. Yeah, no, my experience on Twitch has been really great so far. It's kind of the opposite of YouTube. YouTube is just like full of degenerate, angry people who just like to insult you, but Twitch has been really good. We just have the problem with a couple of bots every now and then. But yes, I'm using an old iPhone for the tracking. I won't buy Apple products, but if they are loaned to me or given to me, I will gladly take them. Or if they're like previously owned, so like if I find one at like a pawn shop or something that's a better one than this one, I'll probably go with that one. But I tend to avoid pawn shops because they tend to have stolen goods. Because pawn shops don't ask questions, whereas thrift stores are different because they take everything via donation, whereas pawn shops are profit based, and usually people sell stolen goods to pawn shops. So I just avoid them in general as a rule. You've received concussion. How did you receive a concussion? Oh, right. From the Yabos. It's another old movie reference for you. Streaming Twitch has been pretty great for me too. I sit on a stream by myself most of the time. When my friends pop in and chat with me for a while, so it makes me happy. It makes it all worth it. Absolutely. The only reason I do this, and I make sure I wake up every morning to do this, no matter how tired I am, like today, it's taken me about 2.5 hours to really fully wake up, is because people like Necromancer and Fantasy show up. Serafina was here earlier. Aline came by. Nachos as well. Puma sometimes shows up. Mew Juice, who was my best friend growing up, she sometimes shows up as well. She's another sweet, gentle being with a good, big, fluffy heart to match her really big, fluffy chest. That woman has got some boobs on her. It's the same for me, but I love streaming and it's nice to slowly grow. Yeah, I wouldn't want like some giant streamer to raid me. I would probably feel overwhelmed and terrified. I like the like small community vibes and people that I can communicate with. Like watching insane streamers like Vosh or Philip DeFranco and seeing their chat go by in 1,000,000 miles a second is just like way too much energy for me. I like quiet early mornings, and I find I have, despite my insomnia kicking my ass over this week, I find I have more energy in the mornings, and if I try and stream in the evenings, it just doesn't go well. I get anxious if I have to wait all day. I had my first raid last week with like 20 people, and I entered introvert panic mode. Oh no. But congratulations on the big raid. That's always good for your stats. Yeah, Guardian, what kinds of things do you do again? I haven't managed to catch one of your streams, but I don't have like notifications on, and I don't use my phone for like Twitch and stuff. Speaking of phone, I need to charge that, so we're gonna unplug the speaker that's not charging, and we're gonna plug in the phone to charge. Of course, I have to switch cables for that. Oh, come on. Where's the hole? There's the hole. There we go. Now my coffee got really cold. I might make more coffee. Velcro, are you watching me? Oh God, Jesus. What is happening? Oh, wow. Oh, there's a cat. He's watching me. I think he wants snuggles. Come on, Vel. Come on. Sorry. Come on. Come on. Traffic noises. loud traffic noises. I have acquired a cat. Stinky, did you just fart? Ugh. I think he just farted. You're probably gonna get the meows. Just the tiny scrims. Ah! Tiny baby. He screamed. I stream Souls-like games on Tuesday, currently playing through Timesia, and on Mondays I'm streaming Vintage Story, a Minecraft game if Mojang actually cared. If I have spare time throughout the week though, I will stream on my off days too, but that's neither here nor there. Well, hey, I'm just a jobless freak, so Velcro did not want to cuddle, but he's cuddling now anyways. He's very upset about it. Listen, you tiny bean. There's now a cat in my arms. Is very upset. One of my friends are there. Gonna get their hubby to raid me later because they finish around the time I start. Yeah. That's the other thing about, like, when I was starting really early, there was nobody to raid out to. Hold on. Your beans are all splayed out. Yeah, I'm very much like a cozy streamer. Not a cozy game kind of person, so like I like Stardew and Minecraft. But I tend to not stream games because I have only one monitor, and it's really hard to interact with people playing a game with one monitor. Sorry, I've got the cat now, and he's in a more comfortable position. He's just accepted his fate for now. Like building my vampire castle. Hey, whatever floats your boat, right? Some people find, like, Crypta the Necrodancer relaxing, and I'm like, ah! Have you calmed down now, kitten? Yeah? He's looking at me like you will suffer for this later. He's not normally so fussy. Off you go, kitten. He's very annoyed. Ad time. Well, let's see. I have to process my beef, so we're gonna look for a raid. And it's probably gonna be CNOD. So I'm gonna wait till the raid is over so I can properly say goodbye and thank you to Zio. I keep wanting to pronounce that with a Chinese sort of G. as for game suggestions, I don't really have anything specific. I don't have a lot of time to play games. Woohoo! You need to process your beef. What are we talking about? Oh, I got a giant tube of ground beef at Costco. Necromancer. I've been eating pork for like 6 months and I am so incredibly sick of it right now. And so when I was at Costco, they had this giant 4.6 kilogram tube of beef on sale for $60. It's like 15 meals of beef. So I've got to process the tube down into manageable bags and maybe like pre-make a bunch of meatballs and stuff and then freeze it so that I have easy food to eat in the coming months, because that's how long it will last me. But yes, I must process my beef. My meat stick. Well, Zio, you'll probably get along with my friends Puma and Sayoni. They play a lot of Monster Hunter World. Or is it Wilds? I don't know whatever the new one is. They play a lot of it. And they play it together. So, yeah. They play a lot of Monster Hunter, so you'd probably get along well with them. I'm going to raid CNOT. Helps if I type properly. So CNOT Bush is a sculptor of masterclass variety. He also offers classes for free on his YouTube channel. And a posture check. Posture checked just before we go. CNOT is also the first non-gaming Twitch affiliate / partner on Twitch. So, there's that. But his stuff is like masterclass. And he streams twice a day. He's probably going to be done soon for the morning feed. But, yeah. Thank you all for coming as usual. I love your energy. You give me power for the rest of the day. I appreciate every last one of you. We are off sailing to different waters. Have a good day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, whatever that is in your time zone. That's what time I stream. And I will see about going to you later. See you. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.